Good morning. Welcome back to Shoemanifesto. Today we're shifting gears and moving into the technical design phase. It's not lost on me that creating tech packs and product development are, for some, a full-time career. And hats off to you folks, because this part of the process is really tough and takes extreme focus and so much attention to detail. So thank you to all the product developers and technical designers out there for what you do. Without you, designs remain just an idea. Technical design to me is about more than just costing or sourcing components. It's about ensuring that the design vision is clear for technicians and that the elements of that design are possible for them to accomplish. In my work here in the studio, I have to think carefully and sequentially about how I'm going to craft these shoes. If there's a complicated detail or design element, I have to devise how do I make those, or if I have to, where do I source those? Another caveat, what I'm doing here on the channel pales in comparison to industry product development. Since what I do here is an exercise, and I only make one prototype pair of shoes at a time, there are entire aspects of the tech pack that I don't use. Things like important duty documentation, sample invoices, line plans, line sheets, size run, packaging instructions, and many, many more. The forms that I do make are related to cost, material, color, specifications, callouts, and of course my last details. A tech pack is a packet of documents for manufacturers containing all the technical information and instructions for each design. Being thorough and accurate saves both time and money. Footwear tech packs are usually completed by the technical designer and should serve as an instruction manual and answer every question during the crafting of a pair of shoes. Material, color, shape, heel, down to very fine details like thread, thread type, thread color, stitches per inch, midsole, what kind of midsole, who makes the midsole, and so on. And of course, a tech pack is also a breakdown of the cost of every component, supply, or service involved in the making process. In this phase, I have to think like a systems engineer, very fine detail. And I can't forget hidden costs on things like glues, stiffeners, tapes, corks, dyes, and threads. I like to say that shoemaking is a game of millimeters and pennies. Every millimeter of adjustment in either the lace or the patterns change the fit. And every penny, or sometimes fractions of pennies, can completely change a design, and may even allow for more value to be added back into the project. Let's go over and take a look at the forms I created for this project's tech pack. As a reminder, I do all of these as an exercise, as good practice, but monitoring cost is always a good thing. My first form is a tech flat. In an industry tech pack, this goes with the packet in order to give the technicians an overall view of the design. This tech flat shows the upper pattern placement, along with the upper stitching and edge treatments, and also how I intend that gold piece to be placed. Next up in my packet, I add all of the artwork, which includes the hand-drawn design sketches and the rendering, which you saw me work on in the previous channel videos. P.S. Big thank yous for all the feedback I've received on those. My next form is a spec sheet, which gives a complete description of the design for this project. Season, silhouette, hardware, edge treatments, colors, materials, construction methods, all the consumables I use, and so on. Closely related to that are the detailed material sheets that give us all the possible information on materials, including swatches. I include the vendor information, the unique product identifier or item number, and any reorder information. I also give a very exact description of the material, like type and thickness of leather or fabric, also any finishes or treatments. Next is the cost breakdown worksheet. It shows material name and description, the vendor, the unit of sale, and the cost per unit. This form allows me to estimate the cost of my net usage and get a more accurate estimate of the actual cost per pair. I calculate the total cost of both materials and consumables and compare that to net usage to determine waste and loss. Next are my callout sheets. This form brings special attention to any construction details that require specific instruction. For this project, I've created callouts for the type of stitching, the edge treatments, the outsole edge finish, that gold plastic piece, and how the straps lay and how they're placed in sequence. As is standard for Shoemanifesto, I make callouts for the sock liner, label, and toe shape. That form shows the material, the shape, and the color, as well as the label placement. And lastly, I have my color chart worksheet. This form shows my colorway, red and black and gold. The color story is tertiary analogous. I also make it a point to add the corresponding Pantone numbers to each color swatch. This is my last worksheet. It gives me some basic details on the last I'll be making. Description, silhouette, heel height, wedge angle, toe shape, and the size information. If I were using a standard industry last, I would include the serial number in the description and whether or not I modified that last in any way. That sort of thing is often worked out with the factory well beforehand, and the designer will know what lasts and silhouettes they'll have to work with before designing, or at least they should. The next step for us in the series is last making, and that leads right into pattern making, specifically the drape and flatten form all the way to the final patterns. So when the project is done, I'll take all of the patterns I create and add them to the packet. I'm going to leave you with a look at me making this tech pack. I'll be assembling all of the forms and components that I'll be using for this project. While I'm at it, I'll get pictures for the Shoemanifesto Instagram and Facebook pages. If you like what you see here on the channel, go over and check those out and see some of the past completed projects and let me know what you think. This is the rubber meeting the road video, and it is such a privilege to share my work with the whole world through this platform. Everything I do on this channel is to inspire the creativity in each of you and to prove once and for all that dreams can come true and that it's never too late. In the very next video of this series, I'm going to show you something you probably haven't seen before. I'm going to make a pair of shoe lasts by hand using no specialized machinery. It has taken me years of work to prepare for this, and I cannot wait to share the result with you. In the meantime, the call to action on this video for you, the viewer, is to take any small step you can towards your dream. If you're a writer, maybe write your outline for your book. If you have a special talent but you feel nervous, try performing for your family, your friends. If your dream is to start a business, maybe start your business plan or investigate commercial real estate in your area. It's time to get these dreams rolling, and no step is too small, and you've got what it takes. Enjoy this week's edit. Thank you so much for watching. Don't ever give up on your dream. See you in the next one.